Well, hello and welcome to my graves.
Hi.
We did a small walk around the house and you saw the yard and you saw the church. So, how was it?
Yeah, a nice area, especially the old hospital buildings, and the view from the terrace of this building was quite impressive. And it has still a kind of, yeah, this old hospital vibe.
Yeah, a little bit of energy left, I think. This house is, I don't know, 500 square meters or something like that, really big. But there is some spots still that feels a bit different than the old spirit kind of a. This is more than 100 years old house. So, anyways, that's my place, and we are sitting in my studio where I record urn and grave stuffs, mostly alone and with a singer, and doing some stuff here. Kind of. This looks a bit man cave, maybe.
Yeah, but it looks comfy. It feels nice, and this definitely catches the spirit. It's
Yeah,
great.
I'm a kind of a. I used to record and sit on the sofa at my home for years, and something must be done different in a different way now. But anyways, tell me who you are, where you're coming from, a bit about your background.
Yes. Yeah, I'm Lex. I'm born Austrian, moved about 4 years ago to Finland. Uh, I'm a musician too, since the 80s. I started back then in a punk band. It
Yeah.
was in 83, 84. Uh, German named band called Schlaganfall, which means stroke. Yeah, and then several other bands till I started in the 90s, in the later 90s, exactly in 98, my still active project Hrossharsgrani, which is mainly Viking, barbaric Viking metal, some pagan metal stuff. Yeah, and that's how I spend the most of my time with doing music, listen to music, talking about music, and collecting music.
Yeah, I have once visited yours and Anna's house, and how many records you guys have? Quite a few.
A lot, I would say. Vinyl, we have about 8,000 at least.
Impressive.
CDs, another 4,000. A lot of demo cassettes, so everything.
Mm. Yeah, so you're diehard. How's that? Do you remember what? How did you get into music when you were young? Do you remember what was the main reason or something? What really
Yeah,
turned you?
I was born in '69,
Okay.
so the first band that really catched me was Kiss. So I was still a kid, and I was fascinated by their look, by their sound, how they shows looked like, and everything. So that mystery behind them, because it was not sure where they are, who they are, and it was just very, very interesting as a kid to see this. Yeah. And uh, then a friend of mine started a kind of a Kiss fan club, and I joined this
Oh,
unofficial
cool.
Kiss fan club.
Cool. Yeah. I also remember. I'm not that old as you are, but quite close anyway. So I have started my music journey, so to say, in the beginning of 80s, and I also remember the back in the days music was shocking. It was some sort of big mystery, like Kiss and bands like Bathory. Like you
Yes,
heard the stories that there is real demons
yeah,
speaking, and a real Venom was also. I was really shocked about their the image. It's and how someone can be so evil. They are dealing with the devils and
yes,
drinking blood of the priests and vomits.
Yeah.
It was so like a, how someone can be so evil, and that actually got me into to do some spiritism and try to make connection to the devil.
Yeah, I think everyone in our age did this when this came out. I remember, I think it was 82, and I watched a music show on Swiss TV. There
Mm.
was no real music shows in Austrian TV. So it was a Swiss TV show, kind of pop music, but some kinds of rock and metal was also every now and then included. And then
Yeah.
they said, now this is the most evil and hardest band in the world, Venom from UK. It was 1982, and I heard the song Bloodlust. Yeah, it was Bloodlust or Witching Hour. I don't remember one of these two songs, and it blew me away. I went to the next day to the record store in
Yeah.
the center of Linz where I grew up, and they actually had their Welcome to Hell LP, and I bought it right away. And
Cool.
since then, everything changed.
Yeah. Probably for me was we have also had a TV program, weekly program, also always new bands and pop and rock and metal, whatever it was. But there was Wasp, I Wanna Be Somebody Body video, and it was like a, that was the,
I remember that one.
we got crazy.
Yes, yes.
It was so impressive. But anyway, it's somehow it's weird. Like when you think in these days, bands let, for example, they do record this year, and then they tour, play gigs or whatever, and the next album will come out in 4 years or something like that.
Yes.
Imagine 80s from 83 to 87, how much there happened. And 2 years from that, it was the downfall of thrash metal, black metal. It started to going in a different way.
Yes, yes.
Of course, there were still bands like Sodom and Creator keeping the same stuff going on, but a lot of bands changed, and it was just like they went like this and came down like this. It was so, was it so big hype back in the days? I don't know, but it was, that time was just a cycle when, for example, Earn, we have a 5 years gap in between the records, and
Yeah.
that was the whole genre, like lived and almost died, kinda. Okay, it never died, but I mean, it was so strong.
Yeah, I think it was rather the other music genres that changed this our music genre. When you were into thrash metal or death metal, whatever. Let's say thrash metal. This was way before this. I would say with all this destruction, Sodom Creator, which you mentioned, and then came this. Yeah, what was it? This bands like Cinderella, Bon Jovi,
Yeah,
and so
hair
on,
metal and
and they made a huge lot of money.
yeah.
So then Celtic Frost changed into making Cold Lake, for example. So
Yeah.
that's the most terrible example. So because they want to jump on this train, and actually the other bands changed all this, but luckily most of the bands found back to their
Yeah.
earlier style. But
Well-
it was a kind of a trend, and there was money, and you just need to jump on this train.
Yeah.
Some manage it, some don't.
Yeah, it would be so fucking cool, to meet Tom G. Warrior and only play Cold Lake
Yeah.
and party for 24 hours, something like that. But just,
I think
I kind
he's-
of like that album.
I
It's-
like it. If you don't listen it with thinking about Celtic Frost, then it has its vibe. But when you
Yeah.
listen to Morbid Tales, then you cannot listen after this to Cold
That's,
Lake. This doesn't.
that's a shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, but also, what was the year you started your first band, the punk band?
Yeah, actually, it was at first it was just a school kids band, but the punk band then the real first real band was I think it was '84. This Schlaganfall.
Okay.
So it was hardcore punk, I would say. It was not not. It was always a bit more close to metal, because I was still a huge metal fan, but also a punk fan. But I had my metal chains in.
Yeah.
I could not get this out of my music.
Did you play shows?
Yeah, with the punk band only two shows. So
Oh,
uh, two in my hometown, but one was quite a big thing. So it was then already the second band. It was called After AIDS. So AIDS like the HIV virus,
yeah,
and After AIDS was so no one survived AIDS back in the day. So After
yeah,
AIDS was quite
yeah,
a had a
yeah.
meaning back in the day, and we got gig in a big venue in Linz as a support act for Die Toten Hosen, which is a German
Oh,
punk band, and they are huge. So they
mm-hmm.
play in stadiums, but not back in the day. They were still a small punk band. But this was quite cool, especially the backstage time we had together was
Cool.
crazy.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so feeling like a rock star, f- or rock star moments with the. Do you remember how many people there were on the show?
It was quite packed, the venue. So there was another. So we were the first act, and then there was another act, and then the main act.
Yeah,
But there were already the most of the people were already there when we hit the stage, so it was quite a cool experience.
yeah. How was the venues back in the days in the 80s?
There was very less small venues, so the underground venues were yeah. We had a huge punk scene in Linz, so it was basically used by punk bands, which I have enjoyed anyway. For example, there was bands playing like Nirvana before they got big, so it
Okay.
was quite crazy to see such bands when they really played underground music.
Yeah.
It was quite nice. So and it was small venues, so the normal venues maybe 50 plus people could get in, not more. And then we had a few bigger venues and the stadium, but it was not much. So the 80s and metal was rare, rare in Austria. It was awful. You see, you need to go to Vienna to see bands.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
in the
Yeah.
capital, nowhere else.
In Finland, we had like venues. They were on the countryside. They were more like places where people go by car, dancing and getting
Yeah,
drunk and seeing something else than metal. But anyway, many metal bands started touring on those countryside places. And actually, I think there is some places left. Would be nice, to do some sort of gigs there because they're still possible to use. But no one ain't coming in these days. There's so much shows and gigs, and
yeah,
if you do I live here in the countryside. We have a festival area outside here at the yard. What do we need to bring here to get 100 people? I
yeah.
don't know.
I know I organized festivals in the 2000s in Linz by
Okay.
myself, so it was always hard to, and you need to wait till the festival day to see how many people come or don't. You did not know it
Yeah,
beforehand.
it's a
It
risk.
it was always a risk, and it was always uh, a pain in the ass. The organizing everything is it's so much work for sometimes a few people.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking a bit more about like Venom were shocking, and they're doing something really evil that was for a young man like me. It was almost impossible to handle. To deal with the devil. At least I tried, but I scared like hell. But we try to make the connection. So my point to do these interviews and chat with people, with musicians or artists, do you have some sort of a paranormal experiences or something that makes or do they make some sort of impact to your music or how you the way you do music and stuff like that?
So back in the day when I started, it was more the fascination about the not touchable things,
Yes.
or the evil, evil has always its fascination. It was always There was always evil is equal with power. There was always kind of uh, this dark power, this dark spirit, which fascinated me. It was kind of when I watch movies and they are about the devil comes to earth or whatever there is,
Yeah.
I always was pissed because they did not show the actual power of evil. This was always kind of a lazy church story. Was not. It
Lame.
did not catch us the point. So the real evil spirit. I was always another movie, and then I watched it, and then I thought another scrappy thing. There are very less. They are really catched me. But I always
Yeah.
try to see, even when we talk about music. So when I hear Venom, and just even without reading or listening to the lyrics, it had an evil spirit.
Yeah.
It sounded evil. It in a way, yeah, you cannot get away from it. It really sucks you in.
Yeah, especially when it expanded to battery and bands like that, they started to sound like really, really evil.
In conspiracy with Satan. It was really the first album was really. I bought it when it came out. I had already Venom, and then came this Battery, and then this was it. This was
Yeah.
absolute evil. This was the black hole in
Yeah.
music. This was really darkest power.
Yeah. So when did you started your first kind of metal band?
Yeah, it was late 80s. I did a few rehearsals just with a band called X-Ray,
Yeah.
and then in the early 90s with another band called Shark. And then in '98 I started with my project Hrossharsgrani, which was then there I could do it was my project. Like when you have everything in your hands, you can do what you want, and it sounds like you wanted it to sound. You
Yes.
don't need to think about this and this. The bass player wants this, the guitarist wants this, the singer wants this, and I wanted to do something that sounds like me, like the things that I had in my head.
Yeah. Simple and easy, and always when there is a lot more people giving their opinions, everyone wants something, and it goes quite impossible at times. Ship can only have one leader, kind of.
Yeah, and it's for me. This was I'm not such an ego, but in my music, I had my thoughts, and it was easiest to get it done in my head for me, only
Yeah.
for me, not for someone else. Just
Yeah.
and then I worked it out, and then and I recorded a song, and I changed it 20 times, 50 times. Still, I thought, okay, this is how I want to sound it. Like you do, you sent me different songs from Graves where you have changed
Yeah.
parts in the song, and this is also what you wanted to do. It
Yeah.
was your way to find to the best
Yeah.
version
I,
of the
I
song.
I know the burning feeling as
Yeah,
well, how you want it to go, and that's your own flow. And when you get the flow out in the right way, it's always satisfying. But always that you must trust your
yeah,
own vision on it, and I think it's really important. And if you want to do compromises, then probably you need to build another band and start to do compromises and
sure,
make
sure.
songs.
But it doesn't matter what you do. It needs a spark
Yeah.
that causes the fire in the end. So it
Yeah.
needs something, and then and when you have a band with 4 members, 3 members, whatever, only one has the spark for that one song, and it's hard to get it burning into others. So it's
Yes. Yeah. It's a bit like I have tried the different ways of to do music. Well, as an artist, you always try to find something that inspires you, and
yes,
so that's sometimes it's challenging, but when you find your way and you do it, it's a pleasure.
yes, yes,
I love the process of doing music and the inspiration wherever I dig it from. It's the way I'm doing the music in these days. It fits for me.
yeah. Me too. It took me decades, but now I'm there. Like we just finished the new album, and now
Yeah,
it's just my wife and me. This fits well together, and we just finished it, and it's such a pleasure to listen to the final result, and when you are really happy with it. So
yeah.
different uh, steps of working leads you to the final result, and then you listen to it, and then you say, "Ah, that's it. We have done something good." In
Yeah.
our opinion, it never need to be another's opinion. But uh, for me, it sounds great, and I'm happy that my wife supports me. So I write the song, and she gives her inputs to it.
Yeah, so it
Family business.
yeah, and works well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Yeah. Okay. Let's speak about bit like was it like we've been planning this interview for 1 year or something
Yes.
like that, and we were chatting quite a lot last year, and I have sent some crazy pictures to you, and you have sent some crazy pictures to me, and now I am speaking about that. Was it your friend's house where it was a TV and this demonic skull on
Yeah,
the,
it must have been in the late 90s. So I had no computer, I had no Photoshop, I have no digital camera. It was a normal camera with a normal film inside, so it was all uh, without any effects. And then we had kind of a. It wasn't really a party. We came together and we took a few photos, and he has such this typical uh, closet which covers a whole wall with the TV inside and with the bookshelf, which you had since the 70s till the 90s. They were popular. And there
yeah,
was the TV in this shelf. And I don't know why we did a photo of this too, but it was
so
just a part
random.
of a random photo of uh, the 36 photos we did on this day, which was in the film. And when we got this back from the Photoshop, the actual photos, and on this photo, especially on the TV screen, which the TV was not switched on the whole day, so it was just switched off TV, there was kind of a demonic face on the
Yes,
TV. How this happened, I have no idea, but it's something
unnatural.
unnatural, paranormal, because it's clearly visible that this is not just a shadow of someone of us, or we were not doing cosplay in this room that there was a mirrored picture. So this was clearly coming out of the TV screen on
Yeah,
this photo.
yeah. I add the picture here for the watchers. You can see the picture also here, and it's this is these are crazy things. But personally, I can be crazy or whatever, but these are the things I've been digging a lot, and I have given kind of it's some sort of a channel or a gateway to some unreal things.
But it's so crazy. I have not thought about this picture for more than 20 years.
Yeah.
And you sent me these pictures, and I just saw the picture a few days before in a pile of stuff that I moved from Austria to Finland. So that it still was there, it was still in my possession, and I saw it a few days before you sent me your picture. So this is also something which leads to the same effect. Why did
Yeah.
it came up a few days before? Why did I see this picture
Now, yeah,
a week before
yeah,
you spoke to me about
yeah.
this?
That's, I think, same kind of energy finds
There
each
must be
other,
a
and
connection. There
yeah, yeah,
must be something.
yeah. It's crazy. Do you have other some sort of these weird things or
Yeah,
pictures?
not picture in my mind. Yes,
Mm,
I was once a quite strange experience. So I was working as a postman in Austria,
yeah,
and I was driving with the moped, and always on the way back, I needed to drive through a tunnel. So it
yeah.
was a 700-meter tunnel, nothing special,
Mm,
and I had a picture in my mind of something flying towards me when I drive in the tunnel.
yeah,
And I drove in the tunnel and already slowed down. And then the car in front of me drove faster. So
yeah,
it was anyway too fast for my moped.
yeah,
And the hood of the car went off. So it was not going to flow over the car. So it got ripped off
yeah.
over the car. So it got disconnected over the car and towards me. But I had
You
the
had a
I had
distance.
the distance because I already was a bit confused what I saw. And this
Yeah.
happened seconds after
Wow.
this fault. This was quite strange. So nothing happened. Yeah, the car in front of me was damaged and he drove a bit strange, but in reality, no one got harmed. But I have kind of foreseen this. Not
Yeah.
exactly the same thing, but
Yeah. Yeah.
something was flying towards me.
Interesting. Interesting.
This was very strange, I thought long about it, what this could be, because why do I see this?
Yeah.
That did it save my life?
Yeah. That's interesting. And as we get older and we grow as a musician, somehow I feel all this what you have experienced in your life, and it's some sort of a gift that when you get older and wiser, I'm not sure about that,
Yeah.
but somehow you take all this into your process when you do music and how you create your music. So I would say it's like a tunnel, and you're okay. You were looking on that direction, but the whole all the things that happens in your life turns your head on the certain direction.
Yeah, and it's more, as more such experience you have, I think as more you learn to focus on other things. It's not just yeah, in 5 weeks I want to do this or whatever, planning a holiday for next year, summer. The-
Yeah, yeah,
you focus on now. You focus on the things you do differently. So
yeah,
this leads me maybe to the next experience. I told you a little bit
yeah,
before it was after that tunnel experience.
yeah,
Another tunnel is coming. Um, uh, it was 2008 in summer, so it was August 11th. I remember very well this date,
yeah,
August 11, 2008. Still working as a postman, still driving with the moped.
yeah,
And I drove with the moped a normal day. I felt normal. Everything was normal. Beautiful sunshine. It was hot. Uh, I was driving the moped, and then there was. I was also postman on the countryside, so I had quite distances always between the houses. Then in the
yeah,
end, and I get on the moped at this one house to drive to the next one. And as I get on the moped, I feel strange. I feel a bit sick. then I drove about 100, 200 meters,
Yeah.
and then I thought, wow, the hell, I feel awful sick. Maybe I have a sunstroke or whatever, because sun was burning and it was so hot.
Yeah.
Let's drive to the shade of the next house.
Yeah.
And then I was already feeling so bad. I was laying down. Luckily, there was a guy at this house, and I called the ambulance, and he had no phone, and I had my mobile phone in my pocket. So I still called the ambulance by myself,
Yeah.
uh, and I was really I could not breathe anymore. It was a pain in my arm. I had a huge pain, like the arm is burning. It was awful, and yeah, then the ambulance came, brought me to the hospital. Uh, they said, oh, that's a heart attack. They noticed this right away, and then but they needed to bring me from one part of the hospital to the other part, because they wanted to put a heart catheter
Yeah.
inside. So it took a while to go there,
Yeah.
where the place for the catheter is, and yeah, then I passed away. I
Yeah.
still, and the strange thing was that I still heard the things. So I still don't sleep away, and it sounded like it got more distance. So it sounded really like it is echoes like in a tunnel. So I have not the tunnel experience visual, but acoustic. It felt like a tunnel, and the voices around me, the nurses and doctors, sounded as they were even more far away, and it echoed like in a tunnel. So really, like the people tell about this near-death experiences,
Yeah.
like I saw a tunnel, I saw a light. So I did not see a tunnel, I did not see a light. I only felt something. It was awful pain, like someone standing on your chest and their arm is burning. It was really awful pain, and then
Yeah.
the pain went away, and it just felt good. So I thought, oh, give it the flow. So in a
Yeah.
way, and I heard them still, don't go back, and then I sometimes felt that I hear this chaos around me, which faded away slowly in the tunnel, um, and it really like you hear and read in thousands of stories from this tunnel view.
Yeah.
I had this acoustically,
Yeah.
and then they brought me back, and then I was there in the room where I got the catheter, and it was got this chaos around me, and everything was uh, um, real life and real pain, and everything was there, and I felt everything, and I saw the screen where the catheter get in, so that you see see it on the screen where they
Yeah.
put the catheter in the get in the leg, in the hip, and
Yeah.
up to the heart. And yeah, and then they put this balloon inside to extend the
Yeah.
wings, and there comes blood through again, and then this really felt like, oh, now it's open. So you really feel this. But yeah, this is normal medical stuff. But the other
Mm.
thing was really, it was this seeing this tunnel, and then I spoke with a friend of mine, also a musician, this Gerhard Hallstatt from Aller Seelen, this neo-folk project,
Yeah.
and he explained it so to me. You are a musician. Maybe that's why you had it only acoustically. It's quite funny, but
Yeah.
yeah, but in a way it makes also sense. That's why I only heard it.
Yeah. That's the sense with your
I was
work
not
with.
such a visual guy. I was always about listening music, talking about it, but more it were hearing the
Yeah. Yeah.
sounds. And I heard all this, and this was the uh, a big thing which changed my life.
For sure. For sure. I can. Oh well, I can't even imagine exactly. But so, have you ever tried to use the same echo in your music? Do you get back on those words and the echo what you hearing kind of are you trying to never try to put it in your own music with the same
Actually, not,
effect?
but I still have this all in my mind. So this is still
You hear
present.
it.
It's still there, and I still could use it. I think it did not fit till now, but never say never. But
Yeah.
eh, the whole thing, the whole happening changed a lot
Yeah.
from before doing 1,000 things a day,
Yeah.
was more in again focusing on things I really want to do,
Yeah.
things I
Even
really
more.
really not just suffering from things and don't change them like many people do. It was then just refuse to suffer from circumstances that
Yeah.
you can change. Uh, I
Mm.
maybe I would not have moved to Finland before this happened
Okay.
because it made in a way the life easy. In the beginning, not in the beginning, it was shit. I had a huge depression. I did not understand what happened. It was shit for a few years, but it was this depression. All this was kind of learning to deal with it, and
Mind opening.
yeah, and focusing on what do you really need, what do you really want,
Yeah.
and then it was kind of a freedom strike from the body, from the huge things that I did before. Oh, I did so much, but the day had only 24 hours.
Yeah.
This doesn't work for a long time. It was like uh, from 100 down to zero, reset, and don't wanting back the. A lot of people say, "Oh, I want my old life back," and this is the old life is shit. This brought you
You don't.
exactly to this point. Forget the old life. This only the new thing that what comes that what to do now. This is what counts. The past is shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So then you moved to Finland. What you doing here at the moment?
Yeah, I do just music.
Oh, cool.
It's I I the side effect of the heart attack. I need to extend this a little bit, so
Yeah.
which brought me into this depression. After the heart attack, I got the occlusion. They put 10 centimeters out of my gut.
Yeah.
It was also awful, and then in the same way they recognized the cancer. Then they removed my ferrite, and it was so it was within 1 year there was a lot
Lot.
of medical evidence. So I'm retired now, so
Yeah.
and I can do and use my time in the way I like it. And but it took me because to be retired sounds now nice, but 6 years of depression and being in mental rehab and all these things was not so funny, but I learned so much in this time. In the end, it was also a good time. It was also good.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so usable for now, for my life now.
Yeah. Afterwards, you're looking all the.
Yeah, you
No.
pick up the positive things, sure, but uh, I would not be there and I would not do what I do now if this not
And
happened.
you're satisfied now.
I'm super satisfied.
Very good. Very good. And yes, you're like a. You did the album last year, and this
Many,
year is a new album
yes.
coming up also. So you are quite active.
Yeah, this is, the winters in Finland.
Yeah.
Best time to record an album because there's not much else to do outside.
Yeah. Like this winter was quite short, but it was at times quite cold.
Yes.
Here, this I didn't visit my studio like maybe few times in a whole winter because it was so cold here
Yeah.
that I couldn't do anything here. Now it's totally perfect.
And a bit crazy is what happens after all these happenings or during all this time is uh, with me it was so with this depression came also these suicide thoughts, uh, but which completely changed now. So because I enjoy life now, and I try really to do what I like to do. Really try to live the moment and enjoy and uh,
It's a bit hard for me to see you as a suicidal person because you've been always so
positive.
positive. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really in the time after, especially after the cancer. When the cancer came right away after the heart
Heart
attack,
attack.
and I had to deal with this. And
Mm.
then I in the past I did a lot of sports. and I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, I even don't eat meat, and then got the heart attack, and then all this thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's not uh, uh, something that should sound as a recommendation. So it's just that what I did.
Yeah.
Then it happens. Yeah, it's a genetic high cholesterol that
Yeah.
caused this. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the cancer is also a family thing. So
Yeah.
you get it in the cradle already. And yeah, but then you question. Well, you did nothing wrong, but this happens, and yeah, this is all shit because it doesn't help anyway.
Yeah.
It only helps what you make out of it. And but this takes a while to learn this, and
Big process
yeah,
for sure.
now I can come to Tampere to the interview with
Yeah.
you, and
Yeah.
I can go to a gig, I can go for a holiday, I can record an album, I can lay in the sun, I can do a walk in the snow or whatever. I can do what I just like to do at the moment.
Living the moment.
And a big, the one of the biggest things was I think in the whole process after to say no. I never said no that often. You so easy to say yes, I do it, and then comes the time when you need to do it, and then you suffer. Oh shit! Now I have to do this because I said. Just say no. No, this felt not so easy, but it's such a big thing. If you don't want to do something,
Yeah.
you need to say no. You need to just explain. No, I don't want now, or I cannot, because this makes your life suffering so much to do things that you don't want to do. When it's possible, then don't do it, and when you like to do it, then do it, and then you do it properly. It's an easy
Yeah.
thing. And this was something that I learned, and this affects so much in the things I do now. For sure there are things you need to do. Uh,
Of course. Yeah.
you need to do some cooking. You need to do some cleaning or whatever. You need to go
Yeah.
to the gas station nowadays, which sucks anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. You cannot live just with no zero
Yeah,
responsibilities.
but the main points, the main things you are into it, you can enjoy so much more if you do what you like to do.
Yeah. The mostly sometimes in a band also I think when you have your own vision and you want to express yourself, it's it coming like a sometimes you are pleasing others.
Yes,
That's that's
yes,
so it's
and in the end, it would have been better to say no right in the beginning. Then it would not run to the problems.
yeah, yeah,
This is so often, and it's sometimes maybe for a short time disappointing for others when you say no. But when you
yeah,
say 50 times yes and in the end it is a no, then it sucks way more for you and for the
yeah,
others, and so it's better to come out right away,
yeah.
and uh, it makes your life and the life of others easier.
Yeah. So do you miss to play live shows?
No, it's so long time ago I played live. I always think now it's this project Hrossharsgrani. In 2 years, it's the 30th anniversary already,
Yeah.
and I'm just thinking, yeah, doing one live show, only one, with one extra long song just created for this live show, just a one-off thing. It's in my mind since quite a while already, so
Something very special.
something special, something that is only at this 30th anniversary.
When we are finished the stage upstairs, we can easily organize a show for you.
Yeah, we need to. I need to think of how to do this. So I mainly do the music alone at home or
Yeah.
with my wife. So it requires guest musicians. So you are very welcome.
Okay.
But yeah, I need to find
Yes,
a
it's
fitting concept.
and then you have more moving parts. It means always some problems and some schedules and things are going easily on the wrong rails.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
why it should be just a one-off thing. So
yeah, easy deal.
it's more easy handleable than doing a tour.
Yeah. So you have a record label. You should a bit promote your band and records what
Yeah,
they're
we
coming.
just recorded a new album.
Where did
I
you recorded it?
we started to write it in November. We got finished in February.
Yeah.
So it's then I still did a little bit of changes on it, and it got sent to the record label beginning of March, and he sent it right away to the printing plant.
Yeah, but did you record it at home
At
or
home, yes, it always is. It's underground. It's still raw,
old
but
school programs? Or
yeah, and all quite old school, and putting things together like I did since 25 years or so or more. It's I always compare it with playing Lego, putting one piece on the other till I have the song together
yeah.
in the way I like it. Using many strange sounds. This time, so kind of flute is included, and all kind of. It sounds very much Viking and epic, more epic than the last one, way more, but
Yeah.
still raw and barbaric.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, the record label is Christhound Productions
Yeah.
in Germany. Uh, Very cool supporter of my music. He's always super nice, super fast. I sent the stuff to him, and on Friday, on Monday already, he sent it to the printing plant.
Oh wow.
So
Fast
he's
action.
super fast. So it will should arrive at the level next week.
Wow.
It's a self-titled album. That's why I have chosen a picture of Anna and me as cover, front cover. Normally, it's always a painting done by Ruta Sildas, an artist from Lithuania. She paints all our artworks since 2008 already.
Cool.
But this time we have decided, because it's a self-titled album, to put ourselves on the front. But the back cover still is painted by her.
Painted. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 10 songs. It's a little bit more than 40 minutes. Um, there are even some folk parts, but not usual folk, more barbaric. The
Okay.
funny thing, I was digging in a second-hand shop, old German magazines,
Okay.
and found a story about Conan with Schwarzenegger from 1982, and I
Okay.
got so inspired by this that I would say the album is mainly inspired by Conan, by the Conan movie and beyond. So I like this barbarian stuff, and this movie was such a big thing when it came out. So Schwarzenegger is Austrian, I'm Austrian. I was in
Yeah.
cinema when it came out, 82. And when I watch the movie now, I still like it. It's
Yeah.
one movie that always works for
I
me.
love the movie. That movie.
Yeah.
And speaking about Conan, like, what your wife is doing?
At the
Your
album.
wife,
Uh,
in general, like,
Also, yeah, my wife is her daily job is a medical doctor, emergency specialist, but she's also powerlifter and strength athlete. She's, by the way, the world's strongest woman. She has 36 world champion titles,
yeah.
24 all-time world records, and she attempt to break another world record on April 25th in Uusikaupunki in Finland.
Yeah.
You know it because we spoke
Yeah.
about this Uusikaupunki. You are
Yeah, I'm born
born
in.
there, so
Yeah.
maybe you have time to come by and watch the event. There will be something very special coming, which I not allowed to tell now.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I just brought your wife because you're speaking about Conan, and your wife is,
Has more muscles than we both together.
yeah, and probably she's on the same level as Conan.
At least, yeah. I would say she is stronger than Schwarzenegger in his peak, because Schwarzenegger never was a strength athlete.
Powerlifter.
He's a bodybuilder. He has huge muscles, but
Not power lifter,
not
kind of.
has not that power.
Yeah.
So her maximum is more than Schwarzenegger's.
Yeah, I saw your wife was on the stage doing some show for a cannibal accident in
Yes.
Hyvinkää,
This was
lifting
also-
men up.
Yeah, it was also crazy. So she was 2 times with this band Cannibal Accident on stage doing some S&M shows with this Turo, who is the singer from what is neurosurgery. Sorry.
Yeah, I spoke after the cannibal accident gig in Hyvinkää. I spoke with the guy who was he was doing the sound or some stage stuff anyway, and he said, "Is it wrong that I'm getting a bit hard when I saw the woman?" No.
Yeah, I know what he thinks about.
Yeah, but he was like, he liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good show, and it's on YouTube, so we filmed it, so
Yeah,
easy to find.
actually, I didn't. I'm not sure. I didn't. We didn't speak any of. We didn't see each other in the backstage or the backstage area there, but.
No, I don't think so. But we enjoyed your show.
Yeah, but we have somehow crossed each other there, but it's always like that. But still, the circle is small anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for the chat. Anything else to add, man?
Yeah, it was nice. We maybe do it again someday.
Yeah, with the
follow
more.
up
Yeah,
would be great.
Yeah, whenever we get some nice news or ideas, we
Yeah,
always
after an idea, it takes us anywhere a year, so
Yeah.
as you know,
Yeah, well, I kind of hate when the process is. I'm impulsive. I want to do things like this and going with the flow. And
Yeah.
when there's a lot of things that I'm not able to do, it gives me frustration. But at least then I can sit down, take my guitar, and start doing my own stuff. So I have a channel where I can put out my frustration.
Yeah, yeah. I also I wanted to do this interview way earlier, but there was always then something in between when I was here, and to do it in a rush
Yeah, it's
would
wrong.
affect on the interview, and this
Yeah.
would be not
Yeah,
serious.
this needs a
then.
bit time and chilling and
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, thanks for the chat, man, and
Thank you for
see you
having me
next
here.
time here.
See you.
Okay.